Hello everyone, Tharries here and welcome back to another video where today I want to talk a little bit about RTD, and it's been confirmed that he is staying on till series 15. That's very exciting, but yeah, just before we get into it, do me a favour, click subscribe. We just hit 15,600, although for some reason it's not showing up on YouTube, so make sure you're subscribed so it does show up. I'm going to try and get to 16k by the end of the month. I think we could do it. If you all subscribe, if you enjoy the content, it'd be greatly appreciated. Also, go follow me on Twitter if you're that way inclined. Link to which will be in the description. Also, I have a PO box, which is why there's a bunch of packages there. I will open them as my next video. I just wanted to get this one out because I think it's really interesting. So enjoy the video. So basically, it's been confirmed that Russell T Davies will be staying on for at least 2 seasons of Doctor Who. This was confirmed at Climate Creative's 2022 conference, which is happening today, where he's been speaking about the BBC and the creative arts, and Doctor Who specifically naturally came up in conversation. So I'm taking this predominantly from TARDIS Central, who've basically been watching and paraphrasing from there. So Series 14 news and Series 15 thoughts. Speaking at Climate Creative's 2022 conference this morning, Russell T Davies noted about tackling climate in specifically Doctor Who. It's genuinely hard because the Doctor is such a genius, it's an inbuilt problem with the show. They're such a genius, you think, well, why don't they step out of the TARDIS and fix the problem? So this is in reference to climate change itself. And then he makes a moral speech. Well, it's up to the human race to solve the problem, which is a very true speech. It's also a dodge, so it's very difficult. And he can't... Why doesn't he walk out the TARDIS and cure cancer? Why doesn't he fix the ozone? It's a tricky one. And you've also got to take a deep breath and say, that's not what we're here for. We're here to have an enormous, rattling adventure for 50 minutes, and have fun, and make an audience happy. And that is a very important thing. But there are stories, are on their way, specifically looking at stuff like that. Not all the time, but it has become part of the whole atmosphere of the show. It has to be. Because it's true. It's the world we're living in now, and I'm more interested in trying to look at it. I think looking forward to season 2, which is taking a look at how we ignore these things. So yeah, basically, this talks about how they cover, different political topics, such as the climate. Obviously, that's what the interview is predominantly about, and how it's being portrayed in the media. And obviously, with this, we get basically confirmation that whilst there are going to be political, themes in episodes, it won't be in every episode, which is kind of the same with his original era, For all the people who say that, the politics in Doctor Who is a new thing, it's really not. If you look back at things like Planet of the Ood, there's, comments on workers and sort of exploitation of workers. The line from the 10th Doctor is who do you think made your clothes? This has always kind of been a facet to Doctor Who, but it's nice to see that, obviously with Russell, he's got a good balance on making a fun story whilst also having, an underlying message behind it, which is what Doctor Who has always kind of done. And yeah, it's also interesting, he makes reference to 50 minutes as well, which could just be him using the most recent runtime of Doctor Who as kind of the basis, or, it's kind of similar to his previous one. I think his previous episodes tended to clock in at about 45 minutes, but maybe that is some sort of confirmation of runtime for Russell T Davies 2 era episodes. But obviously, naturally, the most significant thing to us Doctor Who fans is he makes reference to looking into those things in season 2. So that confirms he will be staying on until at least series 15, which for me personally is a really, really, really good thing, because I know that when Russell T Davies was announced, there was a lot of speculation of, how long is he realistically going to stick around, given that he's already done the show once before. And I think for me personally, the idea that he is doing at least 2 is a really good sign, because, obviously we did have the announcement in September saying he'd do the 60th anniversary and series beyond. And a lot of people were saying, well, how much is a series? Is series 1, 2? And at least it's 2, which is very exciting. I hope he at least does the 3 to match what Chibnall did most recently. Honestly, I could have this man forever, but, I understand that he obviously is a very talented writer, wants to do other things, but it's just really nice to hear that we're at least getting 2 series under Russell, because I know that was something that wasn't sure about. So at the very least, we are looking at least, I would say, another 3 years under Russell, assuming 2023 is all 60th stuff, 2024 series 14, 2025 would be series 15, assuming it is year on year, which it might not be. But given he already has plans for season 2, I think he's going to try and hit the ground running, which all the more power to him. Also, just to avoid any confusion with him referring to it as season 2, that's kind of a common thing that Doctor Who does when a new era begins. They reset, when in production, they'll reset the names of the series to series 1, 2, 3, rather than obviously series 5, series 11, etc. They'll just sort of, when a new production team comes in, it's just clean slate in terms of the way it's internally reference, so I wouldn't get too confused about that. It's not signposting necessarily like a reboot or anything like that, it's just the way they refer to things internally as far as I can tell. In other news, we recently had confirmation that Bradley Walsh has actually been officially confirmed for Power of the Doctor. Which we all knew he was going to be in it through these filming images that TARDIS Central puts up, but SMX Magazine references him as part of the cast. In the episode saying Flux is Vinda, Unit's Kate Stewart, Bradley Walsh is Graham, Lone Side Man Ashad the Daleks, and Sacha Dhawan's Master. So yeah, can I just say, it's really weird that our first confirmation of Graham officially has come from SMX Magazine and not just, like, the official accounts. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad it has been officially confirmed, but, like, could they not have just put that in, like, a tweet? You know? That feels like the sort of thing that should be announced separately or in a trailer or something, but no, it's been announced in a magazine. I really don't know what's going on with the way they're doing the centenary. To be honest, I think it's really strange. But yeah, at least we've had it confirmed officially now, and it's going to be interesting seeing Graham and Dan meet, because to me they're very similar characters. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. And yeah, the other thing I want to talk about, something else that was featured in SMX Magazine, is Sacha Dhawan talking about, as a parting gift, they gave me my costume and tissue compression eliminator, all locked away in my cupboard. I do wear it secretly at the weekends. Sacha Dhawan, you have my heart. So that's from Safe Space Who. So yeah, that basically kind of sort of alludes to me that Sacha's kind of done as the Master post-centenary, which is kind of a shame, because I do kind of think that he has been one of the best parts of the era for me, and I do like his interpretation of the Master. With that being said, though, I also think the character could do with a little bit of a break. So, you know, I'm kind of conflicted on this. On the one hand, I am sad he's not carrying on. On the other, I kind of think the Master in general deserves a little bit of a break. So yeah, let me know what you think about that, because I'm not sure how I feel about that. But yeah, there has been a couple of other bits of SMX Magazine, but it's mostly been stuff we've already heard from the Doctor Who magazine that dropped. Also, I know a lot of people have been talking to me about the release date for the Power of the Doctor and how it's been quote-unquote confirmed that it's the 23rd. It hasn't been. TV Zone have basically, you know, it's basically as close to being confirmed without being confirmed as it could possibly be. TV Zone have said, you know, a number of their people are saying that it's the 23rd. We've also had gaps in the BBC America TV schedule which line up with the 23rd. So, whilst it is as close to being confirmed as possible, it's not really officially been dropped by the BBC themselves yet, which is why I haven't spoken about it. And again, it's kind of weird that, yeah, that hasn't happened yet. Also, just with regards to the Master leaving, I know some people might think that it's a bit too presumptuous to say that he is leaving based on the fact that he's been given his costume and tissue compression eliminator. And I do get why that would be sort of the sentiment that some people would have. Although, in fairness, with a lot of the Doctors who leave, they get given, like, their sonic and costume and stuff. That happened with 11, I believe. He was gifted a sonic screwdriver after he left and stuff. So it's kind of seen as a sign that, you know, they're not going to be hanging around, basically. Which is why I kind of treat it as probably him not coming back to the role. At least anytime soon, at least. You know, he could do a John Sim, pop up a few years later. But at least, I don't think he'll be the permanent Master going forward, in my opinion. If you disagree, feel free. So yeah, overall, obviously, bit disappointed that Sacha Dhawan isn't carrying on. But as I said, you know, with the Master, I kind of think they need a bit of a break. With regards to Graham, I'm glad it's finally been confirmed, but, like, I just don't get why it wasn't made a bigger deal out of. You'd think it would be. With another returning companion, you'd think that would be featured in, like, an official press release or a statement or something like that, or a trailer or something of that variety. But, you know, that's the Power of the Doctor way, I guess. And then with Russell, it's really, even though, obviously, I think a lot of people assumed he'd do more than one series, it's nice to have that confirmed. Also, I think it's just really reassuring to see that he has plans this far ahead. It just makes me feel really secure in the show's future and really confident in it. And I think, yeah, it's just really reassuring to hear, because with, obviously with Doctor Who, it's such an unpredictable show, and we were always sort of constantly like, oh, when's the next thing going to come along? So just to have that confirmation that Doctor Who is, like, going to be, you know, having plans and is being planned, you know, this far ahead, I think it's just reassuring and nice to hear. And I think Russell's got such a great understanding of what makes Doctor Who tick, having, you know, messages whilst also just being a really fun time. So yeah, let me know what you think about any of the news we discussed today. Comment down below your thoughts, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you later.